Welcome. We are here talking with Michiel Leenaars, who is one of the founders of Gridforum.NL. So, welcome, Michiel. So, can you tell what you're doing currently?
Uh, uh, I'm the director of strategy at NLNet Foundation, which is a private charity that funds people that work on improving the internet.
Gridforum, I think it started about 10 years ago, something like that, perhaps a little bit more.
2003.
2003. And why was the Gridforum formed?
Well, at the time there was a lot of consensus in the scientific and in the business community that something big was going to happen, because everybody was still using local computers, and at the time people realized that something global was going to exist. And so at the time, Grid was one of the major contenders, and so we gathered a lot of people from different realms, from academia, from research, from the business community, and got people together and got foreign speakers to come to the Netherlands to try and explain what was going to happen.
In that years it was a very exciting field with a lot of international people working together.
Yes.
Can you mention a few of the highlights, or one of the highlights, what for you?
Well, I think I really remember when Carl Kesselman gave a master class. That was really special because he was getting an honorary doctorate at the University of Amsterdam at the time, and then he was giving a master class for us. We had wonderful master classes on semantic grid, on large scale file systems for grid computing. We had conferences where I think when Amazon Web Services was just a baby, when it was just out for about a year, the CTO of Amazon came. That was very inspiring. So just a lot of very interesting people that passed by the Netherlands and talked to people, and you could interact with them, and that was great.
Yeah, the CTO, that was Werner Vogels, who talked about the Amazon Web Services that was just inaugurated, you could say, or just started. And he mentioned that he also looked at grid technology, but actually they decided to do something more based on virtual machines. What was it? The place where distributed computing did go more in the direction of cloud than of grid? Is it?
Well, I think they pioneered that realm because they had so much infrastructure. Literally, it was infrastructure that they only needed for Christmas, and the rest of the year was more or less idling. So they had all these resources, and they made something interactive. I think that was the big differentiator, is that they made something where people could just log in real time and get a actual 1 machine or 10 machine or 1,000 machines, rather than have to submit jobs and get data crunched somewhere, which is of course the way the grid worked.
Mm-hmm. And now we are here in 2016, again in Amsterdam, in the same area, I think, where it started, all Gridforum. But now Gridforum will close down, so there will be no Gridforum.NL anymore within, say, a month or so. So why did it stop?
Well, I think obviously the energy in the ecosystem went elsewhere. So we had less interest in ourselves, I guess, in getting speakers to the Netherlands. Everybody that was involved at the time also was just very busy. People like our chair became a full-time professor and got a big group, is very successful at that. I went to do other stuff as well, working outside of the realm of e-science. So I think a lot of people it was a group of very interesting people who found each other for a certain time, and then the time comes when people get new things.
Mm-hmm. So I think in the end, because one of the activities of the Gridforum was the newsletter, and I think in the end it still had something like 250 subscribers left, which regularly looked at it. So it was not like it was already complete.
I still kept reading it, so it was interesting, and I'm gonna miss it. But obviously I'm going to have to find other channels to get into that same information.
Yeah. Do you know, will there be something new in distributed computing, or?
I think when there's there's a need for people to work together, some form of collaboration will crop up. Not just immediately, because otherwise that we would have seen that now. But I think maybe in a couple of years, people with fresh energy and the will to learn and the will to set up a community, they will find a way to hook up together. So there will definitely be something sometime somewhere around high performance computing, big data, Internet of Things, all these realms, e-science. All these realms. They are booming. They are developing. So we have to develop these learning communities, and an association like Gridforum was exemplary in getting organized in a way. So I hope and I wish that the next generation will just pick up that work and find their own organization with their own funding and continue where we left off.
Okay, thanks very much.
My pleasure.